Okay, so welcome. So we are doing a training with host coaching, and we're doing this on a lunch break, so we're going to kind of go through. So those of you guys that are joining us live, awesome. Those of you guys that are joining the recording, you might want something to take notes or anything. Not that I think that this is going to be brilliant aha moments, but some of you guys have been doing this for a while, and some of you guys that are watching or looking at this are absolutely brand spanking new. And so we want to make sure that you just have a couple gold nuggets that you're going to take away to maybe do something a little bit differently. So what we are going to do is we're just going to go over some things. The first thing that I want to encourage you guys to do is to just try to keep up with the times. And what that means is, again, this is a recording, so maybe you're watching this 4 months down the road, and you know what? Facebook probably changed something else by then. And it's really easy to get frustrated with it, but guys, we're in a business. Technology, and we use technology, it's going to change, and it's going to change all the time, and we have to just roll with the punches and figure out how to do our business differently. Some people, get into mass panic even with something like, but if I'm going to do virtual consultant, what if Facebook makes it so I totally can't do this? Then I'll find something else to do it. Like, I'll use a different platform, or I'll find it, like, it's not, like, it's going to be okay. So before you get into mass panic, just kind of keep that in mind, that it is important to be able to stay current with whatever things are going on. If you stay connected to our organizational page and the trainings and team meetings and things like that, you're going to be fed those changes and how to navigate them. If you are somebody that is just randomly coming in and out, yes, you will probably end up panicking more, because you'll be like, what? I haven't done a party for 3 months. I don't know what happened. And it's not that you don't have the capability of doing that. It's your business. You can take on or off or do whatever you need. But don't be surprised if you come back a couple months later and things are difficult or whatever. I always found it, even when I was doing this super part-time, I would do 2 shows a month, because what that did is it got me the freebie that Pampered Chef had, and it always kept me in the game. Like, even if I just did like one cooking show and I really only worked like 1 day that whole month, I still knew what the specials were, or are we getting a new catalog, or whatever that might be. So just kind of keep that. Those of you guys that are joining live, you totally don't have to, but it is kind of nice if there are other faces. So if you are in a place where you can see faces, that's always nice. Again, you're all adults. You get to choose. Okay, I'm not going to force you, but it is nice when I get to talk to more human beings than just, oh, hi, Amber. Okay, so what we are going to talk about today is host coaching. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now that if you are going, hey, my business isn't working, this is the place to always go back to. Okay, this is a place to go back to, because when we first start a business, it's not that it's super easy to get bookings, but typically a few people will say yes relatively effortlessly. All of our contacts are suddenly new. We're not running into, I already asked that person, or, it's a, hey, my entire contact pool is brand new, and they're all brand new contacts. And so you're going to likely to be able to get shows. Now, if you do not host coach those shows properly, you might be out of business really fast. Okay. If we can host coach and get them excited about certain things, because your first few people that are doing it are probably just trying to do you a favor. Maybe they don't even know what Pampered Chef is. You know what I mean? And so they don't have this huge wish list. They're not trying to work really hard for you, because they're not trying to get stuff. They're trying to be like, oh, I did her a favor. Like, I tell the story, like my mom once was like, hey, you know what we should do? We should get like all of us sisters together, and we can all go and do a party for her, because that'll help her out. No, it won't, Mom. Me having you, my 2 sisters, and my sister-in-law sitting in a room, that's actually not going to help me. I mean, if I had to practice a new recipe or something, maybe. But like, she totally thought that that was going to help my business, and that she was doing me a solid as possibly getting those of us together. And I was like, no, I need a host that is motivated. I need a host that is wanting to get other people to book shows so that she can do that. I want a host that is trying to grab sales from everywhere and get me all these new contacts. Because it's not about who you know. It's about who your hosts know. Okay, it's about your host friends. It's about your friends' friends. Okay, that's going to be what is keeping you in the business. And so we're going to go over a few things that are going to hopefully help you get kind of covered in. Here's some tools and some tasks to make sure that you are partnering with your host, because they are your most important customer at that time, okay? And that you are going to do this consistently, okay? If you're wondering what's wrong, I always tell people it's not what you're doing, it's what you're not doing typically that is keeping you from success, okay? So I want you guys to kind of be in that mindset so that you can figure out how to successfully do that. Okay, so the first thing, when you get a host, you need to, get them excited and get their information right away. When you have a host, you need their email, you need their phone number, and you need their shipping address. Okay, because you're going to want to go in and you're going to set up their party in Consultants Corner, and you're going to want to get them sent a host packet right away. I'm going to go over what I send in a host packet, and everybody can do things differently, but here's what I recommend. My virtual parties are a little bit different than cooking parties. A lot of this is going to talk about virtual, but the only reason I'm focusing this recording on virtual is because there's a ton of stuff about how to host coach cooking shows available on Consultants Corner. The virtual party stuff is relatively new. Okay, so I have these cute little packages. You don't have to use cute envelopes. Don't panic if you don't have them. But I do get them. I get them from a place called mygirlfriendshouse.com. There's always a 10% off code somewhere online, so search for that first. Okay. And I just order them in packages of like 100. I don't know, just different things. I think they're the 9x12s, and they do just fine. And the reason that I choose those is this is just kind of fun to get in the mail. Honestly, what I'll do is I just put my labels and stuff in here, and I actually snap a picture of this and send it to my host and say, hey, keep a lookout, to get her excited and to know that it's coming. Okay. So here is what I put inside of my host packets. I personally do 2 catalogs, especially for a virtual party, because everything is happening. If someone is doing just an old school fashioned, I don't have Facebook, I just want to pass out books, I will give them 3. Okay. But everybody else I do 2. And the reason I do 2 instead of 3 just for everybody is, 1, we have to work to get our hosts to actually use these, like to pass them out. And it actually costs a couple dollars more to just send the 3rd catalog that may or may not get used. So it's like an extra $3 to ship 3 catalogs, as opposed to it's like $3.50 or something for me to ship 2. Okay. I know some of you might panic going, I don't want to send out the catalogs, that costs money. I get it, but here's the deal. If you have a host that has not even flipped through a catalog and doesn't know what the specials are, and you haven't done something to try to hype her up about it, she's not going to work as hard for you. You will get that investment back. Okay, maybe it won't work for every host to get them stoked, okay, but it will work for some of them. Okay, I include, and I fold them like this, so when they take them out, you'll notice I have my Life Tastes Great brochure, which they look different now. Hold on. I just got my new paperwork. They're going to look like this for you. Let me update that right now so it doesn't confuse people that are looking and recording. Okay, so I have these. Okay, this is surrounded around it. They just changed out the paperwork. This talks about the opportunity. Your host is going to be your most likely next teammate. Okay, she is. Okay, guests are going to join, but your host is going to be your most likely next teammate. And especially if you're someone that is already going, oh God, I don't know how to talk about the opportunity. I don't know how to talk about the opportunity. Consider it a win that you were successful in giving them some paperwork. Okay, so go ahead and put that in there. That is nice. You can get those in the supply cart. Okay, that is where we find those to be able to order. Let me see. I see some chats coming up. Where do we stamp? Okay, so I stamped here on the front because, yes, I opened them out and I was like, oh, I don't know. But I just put my information right there because the last place had a back spot to be able to do it. But I just think right there on the front is a good spot for it. Good question. And yes, mygirlfriendshouse.com. And again, always look for that code. Okay, I have the current special, and this can be found under promotions. Okay, when you're on Consultants Corner, and it's fine if it's not in color. Don't panic. Okay, you can send them a black and white one if you don't have a color copier, and then just send them a picture of the pretty one. I don't know, but we want our host to know what they're looking for. My September host should be able to get this and be like, oh, 60% off anything. Yes, anything that was on your wish list. Look what we're going to do for you. Okay, so it tells them that. I personally don't print out a separate guest special one, but what I do is I go again to those promotions and I go to the guest information and I print out an order form, because the order forms that are on Consultants Corner have the little guest special picture. I give them 3 order forms. Here is why. If I give them 1, okay, they think it's just for themselves. 3 gives them the, oh, am I supposed to pass these out? Am I supposed to get these from other people? Why did she give me 3? Okay, we're trying to send messages to them. Okay, I also have a Facebook tip sheet, which I can post in Consultants Corner, but if you just ask people for it, it's floating around all over the place. Okay, so it's in there. Okay, this is just something that I stole from someone else. I don't know. It's just a picture that I print out. Okay, someone else made up this lovely little picture and I stole it and print it because we share in Paper Chat. That's what we do. You have receipts and things like that if you don't have a color printer or something like that, you can send out those receipts. They don't have the guest special on them, so you just want to make sure that your guests are aware of that. Okay, and here's the deal. You see this right here? It's a lovely piece of paper. They're probably not going to read it. They're probably not going to. You might get some hosts that will, but if you think I host coached, I gave them this tip sheet. People don't read. Okay. And so for those of you that are here saying, well, I message them, I do things, we're going to be talking here about how people don't read and how to get people with the attention span of a peanut to work for you. Okay. So that is what we're going to be talking about today. So that is what I include, and I put them in the lovely thing. So I send them a message, and then I'm going to show you, let me see if I can pull this out and get it to work. I'm going to show you the video that I send out to people. And again, you might be like, whoa, video, that's way over me. Do not panic if this is like way more than you can handle. If you're like, whoa, Trina, I need some baby steps. You don't have to be able to do everything perfectly at once, okay? But start doing things better. And as you're wanting more and as you're trying to get more out of your business, do another thing and another thing and another thing. Okay. I send video mail because, again, I'm a firm believer that people don't read. For those of you that don't know my background, I was an English teacher for 12 years. People don't read. Not just kids, people. Parents don't read. Okay. Your hosts don't read. So if you send them 15 pages worth of messages from Pampered Chef Lady, they're going to think you're crazy and they're not going to look at it. Okay. They're going to get overwhelmed. Okay. It's just what we have done to our society, unfortunately. Okay. Would I love to be like, hey, it's not even that long. It's going to take you 2 minutes. Sure. But people shut down for different reasons. Okay. Or they get distracted or whatever. So let me see if I can pull up. Let me pull this up if I can to something bigger. I don't think I have it under YouTube. I think I just have it in these messages right now. Oops. Okay. Yep. Hold on. I've got it coming up. Let me share screen. It might take a while. It might be blurry for a little while, but hopefully the sound won't be when it starts. Really all you need to know is the information that is given. I edit my videos in iMovie. It's really super simple. What I love about it is that I don't have to worry about messing up with what I say because iMovie will let me cut it out. So I'm not doing like 15,000 takes to get it perfect. And that really helps. Make every day better, host special. Guest order forms. I'm missing something extra.
Hey, it's Trina. Okay, I am so excited that
we can go. It's actually in your oh, what did I just do? Hold on. Elizabeth, it is in your it's in the outlines also. It gives a list of all the things. But I do 2 catalogs, the host special, 3 order forms, the Make Your Everyday Better, which is the recruiting envelope, and then a Facebook tips. Those are the things that I include. Okay, so can you guys see? Can I get this up again? Hold on, I'm trying to make it big. I made it quiet for a second and then now it's hating on me. Okay, so this is the little video I sent, and here's the deal. Again, just like people don't read, okay, they are not going to be, oh, and yeah, Elizabeth, totally fine to write out. I mean, I wrote things out for forever. Eventually I got a stamp or I print out stickers and labels, sometimes using like every labels.
Hey, it's Trina. Okay, I am so excited that you're going to do a party and we are going to get you hooked up with tons of free stuff. So I'm going to show you some things. I'm going to send you a host packet in the mail, okay? So keep an eye out for it. Here are the things that are going to be in it. Okay, you're going to find 2 catalogs. That's because you're going to keep one so you can make your wish list and then you're going to pass the other one around. Now, when you pass the other one around, give them also one of the order forms. There are 3 of them in here. You can make copies or anything like that that you need, okay? When you get 5 outside orders, that's going to be a huge jumpstart to your party. So even though we're partying on Facebook, you have tons of people that you know that aren't on Facebook. And maybe your neighbors, other coworkers, family members, things like that. Pass them a catalog. This is going to make a big difference in your party, okay? On the back, you're going to see your host rewards chart. Keep track of them. There's also some exclusive half-price items that are available just to you because you're hosting as a gift from Pampered Chef, okay? So keep an eye out for those. You're also going to see there's going to be a form that's going to give you your exclusive 60% off item. So check that out for your special host special. One of the host rewards that you can have is actually being able to join Pampered Chef for less. There are kits in the catalog. Check those out. I know some people will think, oh, I would have never done something like this. I didn't think I was going to try something like this either, and it has literally been life-changing. So you can actually use some of your freebies to buy your kit for less. That's what this kit credit coupon is. There's also a little Life Tastes Great flyer in there that's going to show you the kits and give you some more information. We'll talk about that when we chat on the phone, okay? This, I want you to keep an eye out for this. This is special bonuses for me, okay? I love pampering my hosts, and this is going to be something that is great for you. This is our tic-tac-toe sheet. Okay, you can get a ton of extra free product from me. Okay, I'm so excited, and we'll get this in the mail right away to you. Okay, we're gonna have so much fun. Bye. Hey.
Okay, as I'm watching that, I'm like, dude, my house packet that I just grabbed is incomplete. I wonder if the ones that I just sent out are incomplete. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I do have an assistant, and she does make things like paperwork for me so that I can do things, spend my time doing things like this. You may not be at the assistant stage. You got grown kids? Got a husband watching TV? Make him do things like this, okay? Because putting together host packets, as much as they are important, they're not income producing. Okay, they are something that someone else can do. Someone else can't host coach for you. Someone else can't call to get a booking. Someone else can't do the party for you. Okay, that's your job. Okay, but paperwork, things like that, enlist them. Your family is benefiting from their income, from your income that you're bringing in. Have them help out. It's a family business. I love it. My friend Laura Myers, she was doing a workshop training however long ago, the first time I saw her speak. And she laughed. She homeschools her kids and stuff like that, and she makes them help. And she goes, here's the deal. She's like, do you eat? Then you work. That's the rule. That's what you do. But two things that I just realized were not in this one are that little tic-tac-toe board. I do have copies if you are wanting that, but I just create, like, it's just something I create. The whole point of it is it has activities that you want your host to be doing, and we'll talk about that here in a second also. And then I just reward them for it. Okay, I personally give them $10 worth of product if they get a tic-tac-toe. The cool thing about it is they can't get a tic-tac-toe without doing something that is like going to make a significant difference in the amount of money I am making. Okay, they have to get to a certain dollar amount, or they have to have so many bookings or something. Like they have to join my team. I don't know. There is something that is like, maybe there is like one, like maybe there's 2 easier squares that like get them doing their stuff. And then the third one would be like, okay, you got to work for it. I'll give you $10 worth of product, but I'm going to work. Yep. I'll put that in there. Yep. I'll get these launched. I'll try to put up any pictures or anything like that I have reference to or whatever in this. I'll try to put up in that some of them are already in the files and some of them will be in pictures. The order forms with those. No, I don't fill out the order forms with the host info because honestly, those pieces of paper are really just for people to feel better about writing their stuff down. Okay, it's not. I don't need them back. When a host collects an outside order, I either have her go in and pretend to be that guest and just order, or I have her snap a picture of it. I also choose to have the hosts only collect credit cards, or if they want to collect checks, I have them write them out to the host, and then the host just gives me her card information. Will save you so much time and hassle. You're not worried about trying to get out-of-state checks mailed to you or whatever. Okay. But so I have that little tic-tac-toe, and again, just something to incentivize them. Maybe you don't do a tic-tac-toe. Maybe you have a little like reward thing that you're like, hey, get this and I'll give you this. Get that. I don't know. Okay. And then the kit credit isn't in there. I just realized that's super important. Okay. The kit credit, it is downloadable from Pampered Chef, and it's also in the files. In our Goal Crushers page, they can order things for less. Here are a couple things that I love about doing that video. Okay. It is something that I have done once. Okay. And it's when I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this right mode. So I don't shy away from things like telling them about the opportunity and, hey, I'm going to give them a phone call and, like, hey, that kit credit, it's in there. It's done when I was feeling strong and ready to do it. So on those moments when I'm actually talking to her and I'm like, do I tell her she could join? What do I do? What do I do? Okay. It's already done. I've already at least said it once. Okay. Now, again, I told you your host is going to be your most likely person to join, and you know what? They're probably going to tell you no 3 or 4 times, and sometimes the 5th time is when they finally say, yeah, you know what? Maybe I was thinking about this, okay? But it makes you do it once so you know that you have at least, even if life falls apart, if you have sent them that video, you have given that poor host at least some information to look forward to and how to have a successful party. Now, that is not the only host coaching you do, but it's something that I recommend. Okay, again, you might be like, Trina, I can't do a video. I can't do it. I'll just word vomit her in some messages. Is that okay? Sure. She's not going to read them. She's not going to read them. Okay, but maybe you feel more, I don't know. Again, this is your business. You are here, I'm assuming, because you want to do it better, and I'm going to give you the information. I have a successful business. Here are the things that I do, okay? Okay, so video, number 1. It gets them excited about their mail. It gets them a host packet to get something in their hands. I have a lot of people that are like, well, it's virtual. I don't need to send them a host packet. Girl, do you want that host working for you or not? It is totally different. And remember, some people don't have any idea what Pampered Chef is, okay? So when they start flipping through this, suddenly they get a wish list and go, what is that? Well, that's really cool. Look at that recipe. If they have a wish list, they will work harder for you. Okay, so I'm going to pull up also, I just recently changed, this is in the, they used to call them pinned posts, now they are called announcements, so if that is brand new information to you also, this is in the announcements, and I did just change it up. So that should be coming here. I'll go ahead and screen share because it's going to be, it's probably going to be blurry here for a few minutes as it's loading. Okay, but I did just change this with reflecting some of the changes that happened with Pampered Chef, or not with Pampered Chef, with Facebook. Remember, Facebook and Pampered Chef don't talk to each other. They're two totally different platforms, okay? So we just have to use whatever Facebook gives us to be able to do what we know is gonna be best with for Pampered Chef and getting it done. Okay, so I did just put in here, there are always lots of talks about, do you do events or do you groups? If you are using something like ScentShare to do your parties, then you need to make sure that you are using groups, because currently, and again, if you're watching this recording months down the road, maybe this has changed, but just make sure that you check with your upline director or your recruiter on if this is still current. Because like I personally choose to post for my recruits' first few parties. So when I do that, okay, it's going to help them be able to focus on things like host coaching and stuff like that. They're not worried about this technical stuff, but I need them to set it up as a group so that I can post for them, because I'm not going to go in there and do their parties manually. No way. You can go in there and maybe you choose to, you know, go in there and you're going to actually just copy and paste and do your parties manually because you don't have ScentShare, or you would rather just have it be live. I don't know. That's totally up to you. But if you were going to use something like ScentShare or Post My Party or something, you have to have it be in a group right now. Okay. And so I actually took out my host coaching to an event because I didn't want it to be confusing for people that are coming in. I just have it as a group right now. If it becomes more of an option later, if someone wants to know how to do that, then you can come to me and I'd be more than happy to let you know what is going on. Also, for those of you guys watching this, I'm just Trina. Okay, like if you're in my second or third generation or something like that, like you can still friend request me and ask me questions. Okay, we're all a big party. Okay, we're all a big team. Okay, sometimes people are like, oh, am I allowed to talk to Trina? It's just me, people. Okay, send me a message and ask me a question. Or they go, oh, you're too busy. Okay, if I'm busy, I'll get back to you. Like, maybe I won't answer. Okay, maybe I'm feeding a baby, or I don't know, who knows. Okay, cleaning up puke sounds about right with my life. Okay, putting batteries in a toy. Okay, I might actually be in a training or a phone call. Okay, sometimes that happens too. The other situations are more likely. But just make sure you ask questions if that is going on. Okay, so in this, here's the deal. You're going to have a phone call. A phone call. You're going to get to this person on the phone. Again, it's your business. You can do whatever you want. Okay. But I'm assuming again that you were spending this time watching this recording because you want to be more successful. So I'm going to tell you need to do a phone call. Okay. So you're going to set up a time with the host. This call, it takes 10 to 15 minutes depending on how gabby you are. Here is the reason for wanting to set it up as a phone call. Okay. When you set it up as a phone call, it is forcing the host, one, to know, oh, I might have actually committed to something. Yes, you did. I don't care that if it's a Facebook party or if it's a cooking show. You're going to set it up with a phone call. There are virtual coaching script, or there are scripts on. Let me get you carolredu.com. Okay. I'm not going to tell you the password on this recording, just in case it gets out elsewhere. But if you're on our team, you can let me know. Okay, if that makes sense. I just don't know if this would randomly be shared, and I don't want Carol to kill me. Okay, Carol Redu is our national executive. She's fantastic. She has a website. We have access to all of these resources from her, but they're designed just for her downline. There's more private information, recordings, and things like that she did, which is why it's password protected. But you are part of her organization, so you're welcome to it. When you go under resources and help, you can go under cooking show help. And it's going to give you a cooking show planning call script. Again, use the script. I don't know how long it took me before I used the script, but there are things on here that I would just forget. Guys, there's too many things, from the host special to the recipe to how to invite people. Just use the script. Okay, some people go, well, I don't want to look like I don't know what I'm doing. You know what you're going to look like? You're going to look professional, like you had some help, and you're going to look like you're duplicatable, which is good for your recruiting game. Okay, so that's where the cooking show one is. Okay, for virtual host coaching, it's not quite as cut and dry. So basically what this is, this phone call is going to take about 10 to 15 minutes. The cooking show one may take 15 to 20 minutes. Again, it just depends on how gabby they are and how much you're talking about a recipe when you're planning that. But it doesn't take that long, but your host suddenly goes, I must have committed to something. Here's the deal. You will have hosts that will dodge you. Don't back down. Okay? they might just like, maybe they're just busy and you're like, hey, is there a time on Thursday that we could spend about 10 minutes just talking, getting you set up for your party? Ooh, I'm real busy. The kids have football practice. Oh, awesome. Like, are you waiting in the car at all? Or like, are you driving there? Like, do you have any commute time or a lunch break or something? Because you know what that's going to let them know? Like, oh, she's not going to let me get out of that easily. And maybe it's an actual like, oh, I didn't think about that. You're right. I'll just be sitting at practice. Sure, you can call me then. That'd be great. Okay. It's going to help them make that connection to figure that out. The reason this phone call is important is, again, 1, it lets you know if the host is committed. 2, it is a completely different relationship you suddenly build with another human being. Again, remember, you're partnering together. Okay. You don't get paid unless she is successful. Okay, you don't get paid unless she's successful. We need and want her to be successful, and we need and want her to want herself to be successful. Okay. Now, some people might dodge a phone call. I will tell you, they will still dodge a phone call. I will tell you, sometimes I reschedule their party if they won't get in touch with me. I say, it sounds like this is a really busy week for you. How about if we reschedule your party because we want to make sure that you have time to get it all set up right. Okay. Again, if someone is just judging, because I get it. Like nowadays, people don't talk on the phone. I'm not going to lie. I still hyperventilate when I'm getting ready to have a phone call. I still use this script and I wrote it. Okay. Like it's just how people are, but you don't want them. You can talk to them in person. That is totally fine. But again, you will probably have less commitment from them to be willing to meet you for coffee or something like that in person. The host coaching itself only takes about 10 minutes, but maybe it's someone that you work with. But here's what I would say. Schedule that it is a host coaching talk. If you're just going to run into them at a lunch break, or if you're just going to run into them when you're dropping your kids off somewhere, that's not host coaching. Okay. You need them to be willing to sit down with you and look through the packet and get some information for about 10 minutes. Okay. Still plan it as an appointment. You're a business owner, guys. You're a business owner. It's okay to plan and schedule appointments and to be a little bit professional about it. Okay. Yes, don't let prior consultants know that you're doing. Elizabeth was saying she had one of her girls, one of her first parties was like, oh yeah, I'm a consultant before. I know what's going on. Don't let them do it. They're going to dodge your phone calls. And honestly, especially when you're new, you might be tempted to be like, oh, okay. Tell them, oh, that's awesome. You're probably going to be like the best host ever. Then I'm so glad. But I actually really need the practice with kind of going through the steps and making sure that you guys are set up. So do you mind, letting me practice on you and maybe you can give me some feedback? That'll help them feel important and like they know what they're doing, but still give you the way to know what they're doing. Here is what is always wary of me. Okay, again, not that people have to do Pampered Chef forever. Some people do it for a season. I'm going to probably do it till I die. It's fine. That's what I know my journey is. I love it. Okay. Some people, I've had people be like, my husband told me I could go to Las Vegas if I could get money for the plane ticket. Okay. Let's get you that money and get you out. Let's do whatever you want. Okay. But I'm always kind of wary of people that don't do it anymore and are like, I know what I'm doing. Really? You were a consultant 10 years ago and you know how I run a virtual party? I don't think so. I don't think you do. Okay. Facebook just changed things 3 weeks ago. I don't think you know what's going on. Let me help you. Okay. So just be wary of that. Okay. It is totally fine to be like, oh, that's so great. But is it okay if I practice on you? I really need the practice because I just started. Okay. So yes, do that. Don't let them dodge the phone call. Okay. And schedule it. Make an appointment time. Make an appointment time and then call. And you know what? Sometimes people will still ignore you. Leave them a message. And I leave them the message being like, hey, this is Trina Lutsky with Pampered Chef. I just had us down for our 10 o'clock host coaching call so we could get your party set up. Go ahead and give me a call back if this time doesn't work for you. And we will get you rescheduled. Okay. Because again, it's sending the message of you said yes, but you didn't mean yes. And then you dodged me. Okay. Again, not everybody's going to do that, but some people might. Okay. You need to let them know that it's important for you guys to connect with this phone call. And then you will, after this phone call, you'll be like, oh, that was so much fun. We're like real people. Oh, they want a rock crock. Oh, they're excited now. Okay. A lot of times this phone call, and I ask them, I won't read through the whole thing because it's here, but it talks about some of the catches. And I'm going to talk about this bottom portion here in a second also to focus. Okay. But the phone call is going to go over all the different things about, okay, we want to make sure that they understand, especially in a virtual party, how to invite people. Okay, cooking shows, I personally ask them for 40 addresses, and I mail out a mini catalog there are labels on Consultants Corner. If you just type in mini catalogs or host invitations or something, or host labels, there's little labels that you can print out that you go on the mini catalog, and I send those out as the invite. Okay, the reason that I like to send out the invites is, again, yes, it is an investment. Okay, I'm spending money on that postage and on those mini catalogs. But you know what? I know how many invites went out and when they went out, and that they went out, okay? Because I don't want my host canceling on me. If the host is suddenly trying to get everybody at her house 3 days before because she is last minute Lucy and hasn't done anything you've been telling her to do, okay, that's bothersome. Okay, if I know that the invites went out 2 weeks in advance and that I sent a little mini catalog, so people are being like, oh, this is what this is. Oh, this is what's new. Okay, it's going to, again, get those guests invested a little bit more as well. Okay, you want them to be sending out information in multiple ways. Okay, let me find, I think if I go to Cambridge slash, what, ooh, do I have one that's still open? Hold on, let me make sure that I still have, I closed my parties early, but I've got one that I think is still open that I haven't actually hit the button on. That's so let me get that going. So I can show you guys something that is new on the host dashboard. Okay. Okay, so what you're going to be doing is trying to get them to send in multiple ways. Okay, when you're talking to them on the phone, you're going to tell them how to, did I even do that? That's a good question. I'm all like, hey, I didn't even do that with this person on this one, so hold on. And as you can see, I'm not as consistent as I should be. I tried something new with these group of hosts that I'll share with you guys that was kind of fun, and apparently I slacked on some of the other regular stuff, but this is pretty new. So here's something that's new. I actually discovered this at conference. Okay, when you were going and you were figuring out their, and you are doing stuff with their parties, okay, when you go into their party and you get into their party page, check this out. On the show page, where you would find their link, you can enter the Facebook URL. So let me find that. Watch me do all sorts of random stuff. Sorry guys, I thought that this would be a little, this is all relatively new. Probably old hat for a lot of you guys now, but you can go to their Facebook event or their Facebook group, and you can actually have it set up so that it is attached to their link. So if you have a host that is struggling figuring out how to add people, or again, Facebook just made some changes with how people join the group. Because you can actually put their group information from a, I'm just going to copy and paste this in, go into my show details, and watch this. When I save this, and they're on their landing page now, check out what it does for a virtual page. See this button that just appeared? So when their guest has just sent the order link, maybe they're just texting it to their aunt, or they're texting it to their coworker or whatever, that person can actually go to the Facebook event page now. It brings it right up. Okay, or sometimes they might be like, hey, I'm having a hard time. I know she posted something before or whatever, and I can't find it. Okay, it's pretty sweet. So that is something. Also, when you go to, when the host goes to the dashboard, we want them to know about this as well. They can hit share. Okay, now when they share, I'm on a desktop right now. When they hit share, it's going to give them this super easy option, and their friends can even, their mom can even come in and share with them. They can Facebook, they can email, they can just copy their link. If they are looking at it on the mobile view using their phone, it will have a text button. So they can just text, and a message auto fills in there for them, and they can just send stuff out. Guys, Pampered Chef has made it so easy for your host to get this out there, but we need to make sure that they know that these things are there. Okay, and some of this information is in this virtual host coaching script. Okay, but getting them to be able to do this, first of all, for you to be able to set up the party so that it is easy for your host, and then making sure that she knows that these options are there are really important. Again, this is relatively new. If you are looking at this months from now, it's not new, okay, but this is something that you can go through and do. Okay, but so this share button is a great way for them to be able to send out this information. Okay, so we have convinced this person that they are talking to you on the phone. Okay, you are having a 10-minute conversation. They now realize that they have some homework to do. In this conversation, here are the things that you're going to want to stress. Okay, that you are partnering together. okay? And that you are going to have some tasks for them to complete, okay? Because again, Facebook parties are super convenient, but the host isn't just sitting back doing nothing. I would be really, really cautious. Do not use the words, you sit back and do nothing and I do all the work. You do more work. You're going to make her work super easy. Should be copy and paste tasks. Literally, if they spend less than 5 minutes a day in their party, okay, you're going to be able to get them some great stuff. At the bottom of this host coaching script, okay, I have gotten some messages that you can just copy and paste and just fill in with your information that hopefully make it easier for you to host coach these people, okay? In the host coaching script, just like I encourage my cooking show people to give me 40 physical addresses, I encourage my virtual party people to send out 40 individual messages at least, okay? Facebook, again, is a little bit different. The way that Facebook groups, what I'm noticing, I am now encouraging my people to hit at least 100 people in there. We used to encourage like 200. I think the way the algorithms are going a little bit, I don't necessarily want a gajillion people in there. I'm kind of working on quality versus quantity, but I don't want 13 people in there because people aren't going to order. Okay, typically about 10% of your people are going to order. So if I'm wanting to get 10 to 12 orders per party as my average for a virtual show. If I have 100 people in there, I'm probably going to be able to work with the host to get there. The way that Facebook also works is people get notified differently based on how many people, like what percentage of people are interacting. So if I have, 10 people interacting in a group of 50, it's going to create more buzz and more notifications, and people are going to be alerted more than if I have 20 people working in a group of 200. Does that make sense? Okay, so just kind of keep that in mind. Again, Facebook is a fickle mistress, and we just have to figure out what to work with it. I always joke around, I'm like, Facebook, just tell me your rules and I will play by them. But I need to know what your rules are, okay? But just working to be able to figure that out. Facebook has also made, here's a very important change that they have made. It used to be we could just add people to a group and they were automatically in there. Okay, now they go into like this invite mode where if you click on, like watch, let's go back to Amanda's party, shall we? Okay, if I click on her members here, is it going to show me this easily on a computer? I'm never doing this from my computer. Hold on. Oh, here we go. I was like, it's in a different spot. Do you see this invited spot? Okay, it's a little bit easier to find on your phone. But if you look at invited, I want you to look at all these people that she added that never even saw a post or never even joined a group. Okay, if she would have, so these are all guests that she might have been like, they must not have wanted to order. They didn't even know you had a party going on, hun. Okay, they didn't even know. Okay, so sending out those individual messages is really, really important because these people need to click the join button in order for them to actually become a part of it. Okay, and then also this notifications button, here's something that is different. Facebook defaulted everybody to highlights in like every group you were ever in. So if encourage your guests to go and click on all posts instead of just highlights. Okay. Okay, so let me go back to, I don't know how blurry this is if you guys are even able to see this. What is the best way to get people to interact? So best way to get people to interact is having your host invested. If your host is in there tagging things and posting themselves and playing the games and stuff like that, then their friends will join in. Picture if you were at a cooking show and your host walked into the room, okay, left you with their friends, said, say, I'll be back. The friends are probably going to be pretty uncomfortable. I mean, you might have one or two outgoing people that will still chat with you, but they're going to be really uncomfortable and might even leave. Be like, sorry, I gotta go. Okay. If the host is in there inviting and playing and chit-chatting with the host, you want them to create as much of a party atmosphere as you can. You want this to be a very social event so that people come back and they don't just feel like I just got added to another sales party. Okay. You want to stand out. You want to be unique. Okay, I provide outlines and things like that for you, but the outline isn't what sells it. You are the one that sells it, and you're the one that's creating that interaction with the host, and the host is the one creating that interaction with her friends. Okay, whenever I host a party, it's not super common, but when I have products that I really want, I do, the consultant's always like, oh my gosh, you totally know how to do this. I'm like, couple things. One, I want free stuff. That's the only reason I'm hosting a party. I'm like, two, yes, I do this as my profession. I know what my job is supposed to do. Okay. And three, most of the people in this party are also virtual consultants and they know what's going on. They know how to party. Okay. Not everybody is like that. So we want to make sure that they are doing what they need to do. Okay. So sending out this individual message with the link to the group, because then the person is not having to search for their notifications to figure out what's going on. Okay. They don't even know what the party was. Okay. They just get information that says Amanda's Everyday Fiesta. Huh, what is that? When they get an individual message from their host, oh, Amanda's having a Pampered Chef party. That's what that is. And they have the link there. They can click on it, click join, and check it out. Okay, it's going to be much more likely to get that guest interaction. Okay, and here's the deal. Your hosts are going to balk at sending the message. Or they're going to say, yep, I sent it out. I say, awesome. How many people did you get to send it out to? And then you know what they do? Oh my gosh, she just asked me for a number. I think that means she actually expected me to send it out to 40. Yes, I did, people. I did expect you to do what I asked, okay? Not my first rodeo. I want you to be successful, okay? And again, you'll notice that, like, I don't call them out like, you didn't send it out to everybody, did you? Okay, that would be very confrontational. I'm very passive-aggressively being like, awesome, how many did you send it out? Because I'm calling you out on being a liar. Okay, I taught middle school for a very long time. I have all sorts of skills in my toolbox about how to call people out on their lies, okay? Yeah, I did my homework. Oh, where'd you leave it? I left it at home. Oh, awesome. Well, here, just go ahead and pull this out. And then I'll give it to you. It's in my folder. Oh, is your folder in your locker? Yeah. Okay, go ahead and get it. I'll write you a pass. This is the game you're playing. Okay, people aren't that different from middle school students. Okay, and again, I don't know why people lie. People don't want to disappoint us, but some of these things are uncomfortable for them. And we have to assure them that it's okay, and we've given them the tools, and the people will enjoy these things. There are people that want to be in their party, okay? And you need to be able to have them know where it is. Some people are going to be excited, and they don't want to miss out, okay? So just encouraging them with that and making it as easy for them as possible is really, really important. Okay. Okay. Also, here is what I have been trying to do really consistently. And this is actually something, I'll tell you this, and don't freak out about this, but here's another idea. I just recently started doing some host competitions. I had 5 parties going this week. I kind of like, I had a bunch at the end of the month. So I had 5 parties going at once. I entered them all into a group message. Okay. And I said, hey, welcome. You guys are going to compete against each other for a prize. Okay. And I had them, I would give them these daily tasks and I would assign them arbitrary points. I don't know. Okay. And then if they did the task, they were supposed to come back and say done. If they said done in that group message, okay, I gave them points. The point of them coming back to the group message to say done is because hopefully it lights a fire under someone else being like, oh, I need to get the points. Okay. I thought I was ahead, but if I don't do this, then they're going to get ahead of me. Okay. And these were some of the tasks that I had them do. Okay. And one of them, you can say, hey, I'm going to give you a point for every individual invite you send out. Okay. Like I gave them 20 points for adding 100 people, an individual invite for every, reminder message inviting people. Okay. Because they can get, if they want to send out 100 messages, I'll give you 100 points, people. Okay. But it might get some of those people that are like, oh, I don't want to do very many. Well, I did 11. Okay, 11 points, done, things like that, okay? So here is their host homework number 1, okay? I encourage them, have them go in and do a welcome. If they are willing to go live, or if they are willing to post a video, okay, it will be game changer, okay? Because remember, their friends want to make sure they're not being sold to. Their friends want to be in the party because their friend, who is the host, wants to be there. Okay, if their friend is in there welcoming them and being like, hey, I really want to have this party. It's going to be so much fun. They're going to be a lot more likely to join in and be invested or at least check it out. Okay, so being able to do that, if they refuse to do a video, if they're like, whoa, that is way out of my comfort zone, Trina, I tell them, hey, I'm going to encourage you to do this. Maybe give them more points for a live. Okay, but maybe it's 30 points for a live, 20 points for a pre-recorded, and 10 points for this picture. I don't know. Okay, so that'll, those competitive people will boost it up. Also, I would not recommend, don't do the competition if you don't have several parties going at once, because if you only have 2 people and it's going to be really evident, if one person is not invested, every time you're in that message, you're just calling them a loser. I mean, you're not intentionally doing it, but if you have one person that's really into it and they're getting all these points, you're just refocusing that person is a loser. Now that person that is not doing, and I don't mean a loser as a person, but they're losing the game and they're going to feel like a loser. Okay. But, you know, like when I was doing it, there were 5 people and like they could see who was doing done or whatever. And I updated points and stuff like that. But it was still like, hey, you can join in at any time. Or there was still 2 or 3 of them kind of, you know, duking it out a little bit. And so just something to think of if that's something that you want to try. Okay. But the welcome is going to be big. As soon as they've added their guests, have them do that. Okay. The next homework that I have them do on the next day, okay, here's a picture. Have them go and be like, hey, what's my biggest challenge is, you know, meal planning. What is your guys's? If you can get your hosts in there posting, okay, and starting conversations with their guests, it's going to feel more party-like. It's going to feel more social, and their guests see them more. We are fighting the Facebook gremlins with people not seeing posts. And so the more things that we can do, they're going to see posts from their Facebook friend who is the host more than they're going to see them from you. And if they go in there to check what their friend posted, they're going to be more likely to see the things that you did. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay. Host homework number 3, have the host tell everyone what she's working towards with her host rewards. Again, your host might be like, oh, yeah, I haven't had a chance to open that host packet yet. No, I don't really have a wish list yet. Maybe some new scrapers. Your host is not going to bust her tail for you for a $10 scraper. She's just not going to. She's going to buy it herself. Okay, she's going to, oh, I'm so sorry that I didn't get any orders, but I have a little order I'd like to place. Okay, and it's going to be $35. You're going to be like, seriously? Okay, you want her to be invested. So this is just another reminder partway through the party. Have her come in, okay, and post, hey, what are some products? Maybe she wants to talk. Maybe there are some Pampered Chef veterans in there that can be telling her what's going on. Okay. Virtual booking challenge. If you have not seen this, this is something that, again, I stole from a dear, dear friend. So this document will send you to basically where you are going to encourage your host to work for bookings for you. Because, again, we do not want to be out of business. We don't want to be out of business, okay? We don't want to have our first grand openings be like, nobody wanted to book. So we are constantly working for things. If this host has a successful party, if this host is working for bookings for you, okay, then you're going to be able to continue on. If the host is working in there and the party is fun and social and she's like, oh my gosh, I got $150 worth of free stuff, okay, her friends are more likely to be able to, are going to want to be able to be a part of that, and they're going to be wanting to book and join also, okay? So this basically encourages her to send out a little group message with like, you know, so say Rachel is the host and Amber is her guest, okay? And Rachel is going to pick out 5 guests that she thinks would be great or would be willing to book a party. Rachel is going to send out a message to Amber that says like, hey, Amber, I just wanted to let you know this is Trina, my Pampered Chef consultant. I thought that you would be an awesome host, and I wanted to connect you guys together so you could talk about the rewards. As soon as I, as the consultant, have cripped and see that Amber saw the message, okay, so I wait until she's seen it. Then I'm like, hey, Amber, I'm so excited you're part of Rachel's party. She told me how awesome you were, and that you have, you know, lots of kids that would love to cook, you know, that you love to cook, or that you are constantly, you know, trying to figure out meal planning, or that you love to bake, or, you know, that you are short on time, and so a virtual party would be perfect for you. Okay, or that you have a school fundraiser you'd like to do. I don't know, whatever it is. Okay, so you're connecting with that relationally. Hopefully, you've already chatted with, you know, the host about it, and then you're going to be working off of the bookings. Not going to lie, we're not trying to be manipulative, but we're using marketing and sales techniques to get people what they want and what they need. I'm all about getting Amber all hooked up with her goodies and her host thing, but it is a technique that she knows Rachel sent the message. Her friend asked her to do the party. Not me. Her friend asked her. Okay, and maybe that makes her friend a little bit more comfortable about doing the asking because she knows she basically just has to throw the message out there and then I'm going to do the work for her. She's not going to have to feel pushy because I'm going to know how to say things as the professional. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, so that is something that's got the document, all the copy and paste words, everything to do, and all the instructions. Okay, another host homework. Have your host post on her personal page that she's having a Pampered Chef party, that people should check it out. I encourage them to do this every other day. I had them do that on, I had them do it like, what, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, I think, trying to collect orders. Because, again, here's the deal. Your host is not going to do all these. Some of them will. Okay, that's the girl you're recruiting and get her on our team. Got it? Okay. But some of them won't. This one is super low pressure. This is the one they will most likely do. Hey guys, I'm having a party. If anybody wants to order, go ahead. Okay, so they're more likely to do this one, okay, and including the party link is, again, just going to broadcast it. I encourage them to do that every other day because, remember, Facebook moves fast. Guys, think of our Goal Crushers page. You post something, someone posted something, and you miss it because things are going through. They might not see it, and depending on their Facebook settings or if they're, following them or if they're on the top of their list, I don't know, whatever. So doing that goes through. I know for a fact one of my last hosts in that group, she threw that up there. She told me she didn't send any messages, but she threw that up there, and I like right away I saw it pop up on her thing, and I saw she got 2 orders. I was like, girl, if you would send out individual messages, you would have $1,000 party, but fine, this, at least you did this. Okay. Homework number 6. Okay. This one is, I think, the most important part, okay, of her homework. Okay. Most important part of her homework. Because even if she has done nothing else, okay, if she didn't add the amount of people you wanted her to, if she didn't go in and talk a whole lot, okay, this can save the party. Okay. So setting these up, and I give some specific things about how they are in separate Facebook messages, because again, we want these things to be as easy for them as possible. You want that person literally to just be holding their finger on the phone, have it hit copy, and have them be able to go in and paste. Okay, that's what you want them to be able to do. If they have to come up with something on their own, or if they have to like find the party link or whatever, if you just say, hey, send your link out, they're not going to do it. Okay, so again, in separate individual Facebook messages, and in the little competition, this is something that I did. I gave her a task, or maybe a bingo square is send this out to 60 individuals. Okay, that might sound like a lot. It was 10 minutes of her watching a Netflix and doing it at the same time. You know what I mean? Like it's not that bad. Okay, but this is the reminder message. This makes sure that if somebody maybe didn't see the group to begin with, maybe she forgot to invite them, maybe they were involved and they just haven't had a chance to order yet. This is the link that those people that were planning on ordering and have things in their cart, okay, it helps remind them, oh my gosh, it's actually closing. I need to get my order in. Okay, because typically what happens when people are on Facebook, they're scrolling it as they're waiting in line. They're scrolling it while they're waiting to pick up their kids from school. They're scrolling it right before bed. Okay, I might even do shopping in bed. I'm about to roll over and I'm shopping and I got stuff in my cart. I'm not getting up to put my credit card information in. I'd have to get out of bed, go find my purse. Okay, so this link helps those people that maybe were doing that throughout the week actually realize they need to finalize their order. Okay, so having them do this, and you can tell your hosts that are doing it because you'll start getting orders. Okay, so again, we play the game when you're like, hey, your party is still at $182. Like, did you get a chance to send that message out yet? I'm calling them a liar because I know they haven't done the instructions, okay? But did you get a chance to? Sometimes they'll say, no, not yet. That's my cue to be like, awesome, well, this will be a game changer. If you get a chance, it'll only take like 10 minutes. See how many you can send out. See if you can send out 10 right now. I don't know, give them baby steps, okay? If they say, yeah, I did, I say, awesome, how many did you get to send out? Because again, yes, they did. They sent it to their mom and their sister. Okay, you told them to send it out to 40, 60 people or whatever. Okay, or yeah, I sent it out to everybody that was, that was active in the party. Those people don't need reminders. They're already in the party. Okay, we need them to send them out to the people that are forgetting or have forgotten or that they never invited in the first place. Okay, homework number 7. Okay, keep them excited. If you are messaging them, and a lot of these things, also, if you're doing if you were doing the competition or something like that, there's a lot of individual messages I'm doing. Like I might say something like, I give them their individual homework and their individual link. Sorry, hold on. Girls, out, please. I hear them coming through the pipe. I might send them their individual link, and they're like, so that they have something that they can copy and paste really easily. But in that group message, I'm like, hey guys, check your messages for me. I just sent you out your homework for the day. You're supposed to, post that on your timeline as a reminder. Or I sent you the individual message to send out. You get a point per one you send out, whatever. Okay, something like that. But this last one, if your host gets on and can post this little, hey, thank you. Thank you so much for those of you guys that already ordered. I'm only $37 away from my next level. Keep her excited about what level she's at, okay? And wahoo for her for all sorts of different things. Wahoo for her first order. Okay, you got your first order. Okay, wahoo. Hey, you're halfway there. You're already at $100. At $200, you start getting host rewards. Your party's qualified. Okay, now should we be super, super stoked with just a $200 party? No, I'm going to coach her to a $1,000 party. That's what I'm going to coach to. Okay. But in reality, we need, like, this person is thinking $1,000. Yeah. Right. Okay. We need to be encouraging her all along so that she keeps working for you. Okay. Something I want you guys to keep in mind also, sometimes it's not you. Sometimes it's the host. Okay. But you need to look at yourself first, because sometimes it is you. Okay. If you're sitting here going, okay, this is great. Trina has given me 10 things that I'm supposed to do. I'll go ahead and do one. Awesome. Good job that you're doing one of them, because maybe you were doing 0 before, but you cannot come and whine about how you do not have the sales that I do or the party bookings that I do when you have only chosen to do one of the things that I'm telling you makes you successful. Okay. You don't get to whine about it. Okay. Guys, this is your business. You can do it however you want. You can do shortcuts. You can do whatever, but that little thing that I am saying that you're going about and you don't want to do, it's probably the very thing you need to do so you can get past that barrier, so you can get out of that dry spell of bookings. Think of all these tasks that I just told you and what type of an atmosphere, if that host was doing it, what type of atmosphere that would create in the party. How much easier it would be for you to be doing those conversations and have that relationship with that host. How much more it is to, transition from her just being a host to being like, hey, you have been awesome. Have you ever thought about doing Pampered Chef? Okay. And suddenly, if you're wanting to build a team, we have made that jump from we're just host coaching well, that jump to recruiting, it comes very naturally. Okay. Because we're already in that relationship. We're chatting with her all the time. Okay. And having these things, okay, and these skills to be able to do and have a consistent thing laid out. Okay. I would also encourage you, don't fly by the seat of your pants. Schedule things in. Okay, if you've got parties, be like, okay, so when I am, right after I send my kids off to school, after I've done that, I'm going to send the host homework for the day. And what's really cool is, guys, once you've done it, it's copy and paste action. Okay, if you say, hey, Thursday is my mail day, that's when I'm mailing out my host packets. Awesome. Send them out on Thursday, send them that mail video, that video that you created. Okay, just don't word vomit them. Can you imagine? Let me picture you for a second. Okay, here, let's do this even. Let me put this in the chat so you can get an idea of what this looks like. You're going to host coach. Well, I sent it to them in a message. Look at your chat right now. You can read that? Honestly, you're not going to read that. I mean, you might because, well, Trina's challenging me now. And yeah, you're a consultant and you're in a training. You're not going to read that. Okay. A host is not going to read that. She is going to open up this message where it scrolls up and she's going to go, girl, she is insane. What is she doing? Why is she talking to me so much? Because remember, you don't have a relationship yet because you didn't call her and you didn't invest in her. You're just word vomiting stuff because you want sales. Okay, couple other things. Again, the person who has dodged you all the time, because again, sometimes it's not you, it's them. Okay, if she dodged you, I want you to picture if this is a cooking show. Okay, if you are a cooking show and you're calling to try to plan this and to send out their invites and tell her how to get people there to confirm the date and to pick out a recipe. If you kept calling or messaging and she didn't respond, or she only responded with a thumbs up, okay, would you still think that you were supposed to show up at her house next Tuesday? No, you don't know if anybody's coming. You don't know what tools to bring. You don't know what recipe. Is she getting the groceries? Like, you have no idea what's going on. You would assume that show is canceled. But for some reason, we do that with virtual shows, and that at the end, we're like, it only had $13 in sales. I don't understand what the problem is. Okay. You need to plan for that. If you have a host that is already dodging you, it's not that I give up on her completely, but if I have a goal that month to earn the money for my mortgage, to earn the money for that kid's dance lessons, to earn the money for my girls' night out, to earn the money for whatever, to earn that free product, my eggs are not in her basket, I'm going to go find a new host. Okay, just like if I said, oh, that show on Tuesday isn't happening anymore, I guess I need to go find another show because I want sales for the month. Okay, so the earlier you do that, the more you're going to be able to read your host and you're going to be able to figure out if she's going to have a successful show. Now, it's possible the host that's ditching you and doesn't phone call, maybe you didn't want to cancel on her and you said, okay, well, she's kind of half but doing the things. Okay, maybe she ends up with some sales for you and you ended up with a $200 party. You guys squeaked it out at the end. Great, but I'm not betting my entire dream on a $200 party. Okay, don't do it. Okay. And if you don't have a why and you're totally fine with having whatever, here's the deal. That's fine. Okay. But you're not going to be in this for long. Okay. If you are saying, but I want to be successful, I'm afraid of failure. Okay. I think everybody else has it easy. I want you to take a second and look at this recording and all the things that we talked about and figure out, are you doing the work? Okay. Are you doing the work? Host coaching is where you make your money. the show is where you pick up the paycheck. Okay, I firmly believe that, especially with a cooking show, all that host coaching, getting her to get the people there. If she can get bodies in that room, I'll get money. But I need her to do all the things beforehand to get bodies in the room. If she can get people in that party, if she can get people conversing with me and chatting and having fun, I can get her sales. Okay, there are things that we can do to be able to do that. To add to Amber's question, is there a timeline for virtual and in-home? Okay, so I recommend, again, they're a little bit different with, I personally do my phone call like on Thursdays or Fridays when my party is starting on Sunday, if that makes sense, because I don't want her to add people so early that like people have been added for 2 weeks and they don't even remember or know what's going on. I want it to be like, hey, I created her group. Okay, I'm chatting with her on Thursday. She's getting people, you know, I'm calling her on Friday. She's getting people added Saturday. And then I'm all like, whoop, whoop, party tomorrow, people. Okay, and then it's running for a week. Okay, I try to get her host packet a week or two in advance because that way it's in her brain. She knows it's coming. If she needs to reschedule or something for some reason, hopefully she's looked at it. If she hasn't, that phone call that I'm having with her on Thursday makes her go, oh crap, I got to look at this. Okay, and then she's able to start collecting collecting orders and things like that on the outside. That host coaching script also coaches her to a virtual party to coach to the amount of orders she gets, just like a cooking show would coach to getting a certain amount of people at the house. Okay, so if she can have it in her mind, like I'm looking for 10 orders, okay, that is going to help you out. And you know what? She might only get 8, and she might be like, oh, bummer. But you're sitting there going, she got 8 orders. Okay, so just kind of keep those things in mind. So I usually do that. I try to close the show within 2 days. Okay. You know, like my virtual parties typically end on a Saturday. Sunday is the, oh crud, did you forget to order day that my host knows about and I know about? Okay. We get all the stragglers. She gets her order together, and then it doesn't work better for me on Sunday or Monday to actually close the party. But here's the deal. I don't care if the host is going, people need to order tomorrow. Is that okay? Sure. I'm drawing my winner tonight. The people that ordered early are the people that are getting my prize. Okay, like Aunt Susie, who waited a week and a half, okay, and held our entire party up, is not the winner. Okay, like I had it planned and scheduled on Saturday night that I was going to go in and post my winners, and I had all my tickets counted and everything like that. No, I'm not going to go, oh, well, okay, I guess maybe tomorrow when we were having family day, I can go in and do that. No, her tickets don't count. Okay, don't worry about that. And also don't feel bad about not sending a prize if the party didn't qualify. If you didn't make money because your host didn't do the job, there is no reason to not send out a gift. Like, it's fine to not send out a gift. Okay, and it's in the outlines. I tell you what to say. Hey, post this. Okay, any questions? So I knew it would take about an hour to kind of get through all of that, but I wanted to make sure that we'll do that for the recording. I'll go ahead and leave it open for questions also, but hold on while I yell at my child who is playing a recorder. Stop playing the recorder, please. Thank you. We'll see how long that lasts. Okay, for those of you that are on live, do you guys have any other questions that I haven't had a chance to address? This is your benefit for being on live. Give that a frantically typing. Message with a question. Yes, message people with questions. Also, guys, there is host coaching classes on Pampered Chef University. Use them. They will tell you about virtuals. They will tell you about cooking. There are so many resources out here to be able to help it out. Okay, then I will be done. I will let you guys know. I know some people were probably joining us on a lunch break or listening to the recording on a lunch break. And so hopefully you will find this helpful, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.